that's not our intro.
Pretty sure. What's going on, motherfuckers? Today we're going to be talking about three very strange topics that it took us a little bit to come up with. Sorry, we're starting about 4 days later than we wanted to. I was having some issues with my camera and all this other good jazz. It still looks like it might be a little bit off. So we're going to start off with the United Airlines ordeal, which, you know, Josh and I have been talking about that a little bit. That'll be the first thing. We're also going to be talking about, you know, some embarrassing stories from our past because we just think that shit's funny. And I also think we're going to be talking a little bit about bad restaurant etiquette and how to possibly do shit for free or get shit for free, because Josh is the master of that if he's not frozen. Now you're freezing and I'm not. Oh, this is
What the fuck? I love it.
It's fan-fucking-tastic, let me tell you. I can't...
What's up, bitch titties?
Word. So, yeah, let's hop right on into it, man. And anyone who wishes to comment or whatnot is more than welcome to. Right there on the YouTube page, we got a few things popped up that we're going to be working with, and we'll be able to see exactly what you guys are saying in real time, which is nice. So yeah, but so Josh, this whole United Airlines thing. This whole United Airlines thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about that shit?
I think it's pretty much a bunch of bullshit, considering the fact that, well, United Airlines is trying to pull this guy's past up because apparently he has like 15 felony accounts and whatever, he lost his license was reinstated and everything. So they're trying to put that against him, which really all they're doing is putting their foot in their mouth when they do that. Because for me, that doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the fact that you treated somebody like shit because they refused to. I mean, he said he was a doctor. He had patients he had to see, could not get off the flight. And, you know, they did what they did. They drug his ass right off the plane, which was bullshit. And they're turning it into be like a political and or a racial thing. Automatically, that's what everybody goes to when stuff like this happens. And the bottom line for me is, it doesn't matter what he had to deal with in his past or anything like that. It doesn't give anybody the right to treat anybody like shit because they don't want to do what you're offering them. They're supposed to offer money, from what I understand, and then raise it up as it goes up to like $1,400 or $1,500. Well, they lowballed the shit out of it, and he had patients he had to see. I mean, so in all reality, I think that he was in the right and United Airlines was in the wrong. And the funniest part about it is they've already done lost in stock over like $1 billion in their stock. So,
well, don't you think it's a little crazy that, you know, this guy apparently wasn't causing any trouble? The people sitting around him were basically saying he was a peaceful dude. He wasn't doing anything, and they came in and drug him off. I mean, shouldn't there be a better way of handling situations like this rather than using brute force to remove someone from a plane who obviously there was nothing going on? I mean, regardless, you and I don't know the whole story. We really don't. We don't know what happened prior to that. You know, he might have, you know, kicked a baby on the way in. Who the fuck knows? But it just comes down to, don't you think there's a better way of handling that rather than just rushing in and ripping the guy out of a seat and letting all these people, there was 300 people on this plane? Almost all of them saw what was going on. I mean, hell, if that's the case, they might as well just close off the back end of the plane and turn it into the UA Fight Club, you know?
According to what I read, is the reason why they're trying to get people off the plane is because they wanted to get their own employees on the plane to go somewhere.
Well, that's too bad.
You looked at the mileage. You looked at the mileage, like if you were to drive it from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky, which is where he was going, is 300 miles. they could have easily got a rental car, set their employees in a car, and sent them on their way to get down or wherever they had to go or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to get there.
Well,
and it would have problem solved. But what are you going to do? You know, people are fucking morons.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I understand companies want to take care of their employees, but in the same note, I mean, you also have to look at the customer side of it too. I mean, if this guy's already paid for a seat, how are you going to basically tell this guy, we know you paid for it, but fuck you, you can't have your seat. Kick rocks. We're putting one of our people on it. I would have told them to go fuck themselves too. I would have been the guy getting drug off the plane, not this, doctor who, didn't need that in the first place.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, you look at this. You had other people, like what, 200-something people, 300-something people on that plane watching all this.
Mm-hmm.
For me, had it been me, and say they offered him, $1,000
mm-hmm.
to remove it, and he said, I can't, I'm a doctor. I would have said, just to avoid all the bullshit and drama and all that, I would have said, all right, I'll take it. I'll get off the plane. Give me the $1,000. I'll get off the plane. He can stay. Done. But not out of all those people, if there was 300 people and he's the 300th person, not 299 of them did, not one make an offer to say, hey, all right, well, he's a doctor. He's got pages. He's got to see. I'll go. Whether or not he was lying or not. But, and Chris is saying that we're frozen, by the way.
We're frozen. That is fantastic. How frozen are we? That would be excellent.
But, that's the thing that he's saying that the live stream is lagging.
Yeah, it seems to be doing the same thing on our side, too. I don't know why it's doing that, cause I've pretty much looked at all the damn settings I can look at on this thing to make sure that it's set correctly, and as far as I can tell, what I can do.
More than likely, it's probably fucking YouTube, because YouTube hasn't fucking up lately. I mean, if you got your connection straight and you're on your end, you find it's probably YouTube's playing it back. Because I've heard from a lot of YouTubers that YouTube has been fucking up lately. So. Yeah,
it seems he's right, though. I'm looking at the live stream right now, and it's basically me sitting there with my arms crossed and you holding your vape up like this, getting ready to hit it, and it just froze.
We can just keep it going. At least they can hear us. Fuck it.
Well, I can test that theory real quick. Someone over here in the comments, Chris Caputo says, give me a shout out. I'm gay. What's up, you? What's up, you damn queer bait? So anyway, I hope that it is streaming nicely and, at least video or audio. I can't do anything for video. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately. The first couple streams we did were fine, and now this one's jacking up on me again. So just try to muddle through it with us for right now, and then once we get everything squared away, we can, continue this appropriately. So just try to hang in there with us, please.
So continuing on, I mean, that's how I feel about the whole United thing. And, I mean, they're fucking idiots because, well, now they're going to lose a shit ton of money. That guy is going to be able to freaking make millions, if not a billion, and pretty much never work the rest of his life. And now all those, 299 other people that saw the shit are going to be able to sue for stress and all kinds of other shit just because they saw it.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
So you best believe that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt in my mind that it will happen. It's just a really jacked up thing to hear is that, once again, the public was put in a position where they have to choose sides about something that they can't choose sides about. I mean, it is one way or another, but when it comes down to it, the guy was pulled off the plane. Like I said, we still don't have an actual reason as to why it happened. All we know is it happened. So, we just got to deal with it and keep moving on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know about that one there. If it had been me, I mean, my ass would have fought back. Number one, my chin wouldn't have looked bloody like that. I'll tell you that much. And apparently it was it was the Chicago PD that drug him off the plane. It wasn't like security for the airport. It was the actual Chicago PD
Well,
that actually
that raises
drove him
another
off the plane.
question. Why was Chicago PD allowed to pull him off of a plane when that plane should have been controlled by TSA, not Chicago PD? The TSA is supposed to transfer over to them if they have an arrest or something during a flight or something in that sort. But it shouldn't be done by local smokies, as it would be put in Super Troopers. But yeah, I mean, that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be like that. That doesn't make sense either. So now that raises another question: why was the Chicago PD allowed on the plane, and what did they have? What did they have to go onto that plane to get this guy?
Don't get me started on fucking TSA now. That fucking
well, that's a whole different cluster.
Bunch of fucking. It's like a TSA to me is like a bunch of pedophiles just standing there waiting to be able to feel their way up on people, and that's what they do the job for. Yeah.
Well, what the hell, man? That's just it's just jacked up. That's all it is. The whole ordeal is just, it's screwed from the beginning, and there's isn't a damn thing that anyone can do about it. It's just, that is what it is, And this isn't the first time we've had shit like this happen, I mean, you hear of, let me just be very non-biased about the entire situation. The cops who are shooting people. And I'm not going to point out any race when it comes to this, because this isn't about race. This is literally about cops jumping the gun and doing something they most likely should not have done in some of these situations. Now, we've been hearing about a lot of cops shooting, black people. Let's just be real here. You hear it all the time. You don't really hear too much about the cops who are shooting white people, because that happens also. And if you look at it, almost every single one of them are white cops. So that has to make you think, what are they being trained? What are they being taught while they're in there? I mean, I know trust me, I know right now, anyone watching, anyone who listens to this, I'm going to catch huge slack for this, but you have to keep in mind, I'm not condoning or siding against. I'm basically stating what we know right now is that just about all of these cops who are killing people are white cops. They are white cops.
I'm gonna go into the asshole mode, because that's what I like to do, and I'm gonna just finally state this: when you get pulled over by a cop, number one, and the biggest number one, you do what the fuck he says to do.
Yeah.
If you do what the fuck he says to do, guess what? You won't get shot.
Okay.
But if you're gonna be like a jackass and try to be a fucking Rambo and go against when he's telling you to put your hands up out of the window, do that. If he's telling you to get your ass out the fucking car, you get your ass out the car. It's that simple. They're the ones with the gun, and they're the ones with the badge. You do what they say, you might even get lucky, even if you got a fucking taillight broke or you were speeding or whatever, and that's why he pulled you over, and you might have had drugs in your car. But guess what? And I'm not condoning this either, but you might have got away with it if you'd have just done what the fucker said to do.
This is true. I mean, you can't.
That is the biggest mistake people make. They want to sit there and try to be a badass with a cop, and that's what shit like that goes down. If you do what the hell they say for you to do, it'll be done.
No, I agree with that. I think people need to just stop and listen. And, you're going to have that asshole cop who's going to come up to you and just be a dick at times. I mean, we've all had that cop. I mean, hell, I've had that cop, and you know what? We'll cover that story. We'll cover that story in a few minutes. But yeah, we've all had that one cop who just, thinks he's Rambo and that he can, save the world if he just pulls over one additional person that day. And, you just look at him and you just listen to him. So, I mean, even if you're just sitting there and you hear,
hey, you stop laughing right now.
You just stop laughing right now. You know what I'm saying? You just, you put it down, you let it go, and you just keep on moving with it, But, yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, what is this world coming to at this time? It's insane. There's too much shit going on for people to just deal with. You can't just sit back and act like everything is all hunky-dory when it's not, because it really isn't. It's not good, and that's
well,
what we need to realize.
That's a fact, yeah.
Yep. So, anywho, that whole ordeal, that's what it is. That's my piece on it. That's Josh's piece on it, and that's just where we're going to leave that portion. Simply because it's crazy. It's just freaking crazy that people can't conduct themselves in a proper manner. I mean,
meaning businesses in this aspect.
Yeah, I mean, the worst business in America, who is just notorious for screwing customers and taking money out of their pocket, making promises that can't keep. Let's just bring it up real quick. Comcast, the worst company in the United States. Absolutely, hands down. Boom. I'm putting them down. That's it.
Comcast, I don't know. I would
rate
Sprint up there really good in my experience with you and Sprint. Actually,
Sprint is up there too, but they're nowhere near as bad as Comcast is. Comcast will promise you one thing, and then as soon as you close your eyes, they're bending you over. No lube, no nothing. They're just going to town on you, boy, and you can't do anything but take it at that point.
This is true, very true.
So yeah, I mean, it's garbage either way. So we just let it go and keep on moving. But
I think people really want to hear your cop story, though. I think we need to go into that.
I think we need to, because we need to light this up a little bit. The first 15, 20 minutes here, I just wanted to kind of get some of the more serious stuff out of the way, things that, a lot of people should be talking about. Now, you just kind of want to break the ice, get things a little bit lighter. Let's laugh a little bit and have fun with this. So, speaking of cops earlier, this is going back, I'm talking way back. Josh wasn't with me when this happened, but me and Josh knew each other, and we worked together at a pizzeria in Morrisville, Pennsylvania called La Villa. And I happened to be off that day. Josh was working, so he didn't go with us. Well, he couldn't anyway. My car was a 2-seater. But me and my buddy Andy, he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to go see my girlfriend up in Princeton. You want to go with me, and we'll go grab lunch or whatnot?" So I said, "Sure, why not?" So me and Andy drive all the way up there. Now I have to explain this, because if I don't, you're not going to understand. I have a black 2-door Ford Escort EXP. Now that's from 1986. It was a stick shift. It's small. It looks like the baby version of a Mustang. Literally, I mean, it's tiny. So we go up to Princeton, and I'm on my way back. Now, if anyone knows anything about New Jersey who is currently listening to this, the roads in New Jersey make no sense. Their signs are ridiculous. Everything is messed up in New Jersey. So I'm on my way back, and I see a sign that says, "Next right-hand turn, Route 1. Well, the next right-hand turn, I turned, and it wasn't Route 1. I ended up turning into the mall. So I was like, shit, I'll just do a loop and, get back on the road. I pull in, I turn around, I'm coming back up to the light, and all of a sudden, 3 cop cars, not 1, not 2, 3 cop cars whip up behind me really quick, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, what the hell's going on here?" So I told my buddy Andy, I said, "Hey, can you reach down there in the glove compartment and grab my insurance and registration?" He said, "Why?" I said, "We're getting ready to get pulled over." And he's like, "Well, what'd you do?" I said, "I didn't do anything." So we make a right. We go to get on to Route 1. Sure enough, there go the lights, man. And he was just like, "Oh, hell." So I pull over, and I can hear the cop yelling over the loudspeaker to get, to pull into the parking lot. Now, this parking lot was a Denny's, okay? So the most embarrassing thing that can happen is getting pulled over. Now you're getting pulled over in front of a restaurant that's full of people. So we pull in, and I've got my window down, and I can hear the cop saying something. I couldn't really understand what he was saying, but he kept yelling something over the loudspeaker. So I got my window down a little bit more, put my head out, and I could hear him, put both your hand, turn the ignition off, throw your keys out the window, and put both your hands out the window. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And Andy, my buddy Andy's like, I have no idea. So I'm sitting there like this, with both my hands out the window, still have my seatbelt on, waiting for the cop to show up. Well, the cop never shows up. He tells me to open the door. I step out, and while I'm standing there, he has me put my hands above my head in an interlocked position and do a 360-degree turn. So I do that, And then I'm told to get on my knees, facing away from the cops. The cops came up, placed a gun in the back of my head, arrest me, formally arrest me, and put me in the back of a cop car. And I asked him what the hell was going on. The cop refused to answer me. He wouldn't tell me what was going on. So he asked me, he's like, so where were you guys at? Well, I told him the story. We went to go have lunch with my buddy's girlfriend in Princeton at Friendly's. Well, he's like, yeah, we'll see if that's true. So he closes. I'm telling you this. I can't make this up, dude. So he puts me in the cop car, and I'm sitting there. It's hotter than hell. He doesn't have the air conditioner on. I'm sweating. My hands are behind my back. I can't move. My wrists are hurting from the damn things. And the guy goes and talks to Andy. So he's out there talking about 10 minutes, and he comes back and he opens the door, and he's like, where are you going again? So I told him. Well, cop walks back out, and all of a sudden I hear over the cops, what do they call those things?
Radio?
The radio, thank you. I don't know why I just had a brain for it there. So I heard over the cops' radio that they're looking for a blue 4-door Chevy Lumina that just robbed a TJ Maxx. However, they got that wrong too because they pulled over a black 2-door Ford Escort EXP. On top of that, if you look at me, I could pass for being Puerto Rican. Now, if you ever got to see my buddy Andy, this would be Andy compared to me, all right? He's Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost, all right? This dude is so white, you could see him in a pitch black room. He actually irradiates light. He's so white. So he comes up, and the cop finally comes out, lets me out. They're looking for 3 Spanish dudes who just robbed a TJ Maxx. Now, 3, and me and Andy, that's only 2. So now we're being asked, where's the third guy? Where's the third guy? What third guy? Where am I going to put him? Now, I don't know if anyone knows what the interior of an EXP looks like. It's a 2-seater vehicle, and it has a flat trunk. Well, in the back of my car, I had 4 10-inch subwoofers that completely took up the back end of my trunk, so no one could get back there. So I'm being hassled with, where's the third guy? Where's the third guy? There was no third guy. Finally, the cop realizes he's got the wrong friggin' people, obviously, lets us both go. Then the cop proceeds to go, I need to see your license so I can run a check on you. And I told the cop that I didn't have it. Well, he was getting ready to write me a ticket. And I said, first off, I'll give you my license number, and that's it.
You can look it up.
I gave him my license number, and he tried to give me a ticket for not having my license on me. I told him, first off, you had no right to pull me over because I did nothing wrong. And if you think you have the right to pull me over, you could pull me over once I leave. I got in my car, started it, and left. Do you think that cop moved? He didn't move a goddamn inch. Andy ended up suing them because of what happened. And he didn't get much. He got $500 out of the police department. But it just goes to show you that people jump to conclusions sometimes. And it's just a funny story. I just thought that shit was hilarious. The fact that I got pulled over for being a Spanish guy who was driving a blue Chevy Lumina, apparently, even though it was my little black 2-door car. But good times, man. It was funny. How about you, Josh? What kind of funny stories you got?
Had been my fucking ass, I'd have sued their fucking balls. But I bet you wanted to shit yourself while that was going on.
Oh my god, dude! I was losing my shit. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to jail. I didn't do anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Well, my stepdad at the time. He knew that I worked at La Villa, so I ended up going up there after this whole thing happened. I told him the story, the whole 9 yards. Well, him and my mom walk in, and I don't really talk to my mother anymore, but him and my mom walk in, and the first thing he says to me, he goes, hey, how's it going, Juan Pablo? So for almost a week, I was called Juan Pablo for, robbing a TJ Maxx. So it was pretty funny.
Well, speaking of shitting yourself, I have a little embarrassing thing that I can talk about, and that is,
do you have a little
the one time me and you,
do you have a little poof story to share with
us?
us?
Yeah. we went to Waffle House, and I don't know if anybody else out there has had this issue, but I've had it. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. that sensation where you think you gotta like fart, and I was walking out of the Waffle House. We had just got done eating, and all of a sudden I get that rumble in the stomach. So like you gotta like basically let out a fart. So I go to let it rip aside. It ain't nobody around, and all of a sudden it just like stops. Like it won't go. There's nothing coming out. I'm like, what the fuck? So I push a little harder. Next thing you know, poof, a fucking shit ball comes out of my ass and rolls down my. And now I basically just shit myself. Like, are you serious right now?
Oh, that is
so
too funny.
Now I got shit stuck. I'm like, we need to get going. Get to the truck stop where my truck is parked. And I'm like, pull up to the front door. Pull up to the front door. I got to go. And as I get out, I'm walking in. Right before I get in the door, I shake my leg. And I guess the turd flew out or whatever. But then I went to the bathroom. And I did my business. And, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's ever shit themselves. So, that happens when you get older, I guess. I don't.
Would you look at this?
That's what you should have done. Would you look at this?
Yeah, really.
Oh, that is too damn funny. Oh, that is good. But
hey, I mean, you are the expert on poo, so what the fuck, I shared a poo story for you.
Oh, well, I got one too. Yeah, that's right. So, like Josh was saying, he went somewhere and he thought it was a fart and it ended up being a poof of a shit. Me and this is while I was down in Tennessee, me and my brother decided, hey, we want Arby's. So we drove 40 minutes to get to an Arby's, which was a little ways. Obviously, it was a little ways at 40 minutes. And I was hungry, man. I felt great that day. I didn't feel bad or nothing like that. And we decided, let's do it. We're going to go to Arby's. So we go to Arby's, and I order some food, and I'm sitting there, and it comes, and I'm like, yes, I'm getting ready to eat. Yes, I'm starving. So I'm carrying my food over to the thing, and I take a couple bites. I was like, oh, I need to get some Arby's sauce. So I go over to get it, and I'm walking back, and I thought I had to fart. So I'm like, and then all of a sudden I felt something wet on my ass. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So I stopped and I clenched because I realized what just happened. And I'm running to the bathroom real quick. I mean, I'm just going, getting in there. So I get in the bathroom and I sit down. I'm just like, oh my God. So I finish going. And it literally is just like Mountain Dew falling out of my ass. I have no idea what caused it or what happened. So while I'm in Arby's, I hurried up to take my shorts off before they got wet. And I took the boxers, threw them behind the toilet seat because there's no trash cans in there. Like, I've never been in a restroom where there wasn't trash cans. So I threw them behind the seat. And luckily that day I was wearing a long sleeve flannel shirt. So I figured I'd pull out the good old 90s and put my shorts on and tied the flannel shirt around my waist. And I was like, run out there and literally open the sandwich, grab the meat off of it, and like popped it in my mouth. Like, come on, Joe, we got to go. So my brother's looking at me like, what happened? What's going on? And I had to tell him, I was like, yo, man, I fucking shit myself. And,
wow, I feel sorry for that poor fast food workers. Got to clean them shorts up.
Well, they got little grippy things. They can just reach out there and pick it up and be done with it.
Yeah, grippy, crusty shit.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God, that's nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty damn gross. But
wow,
what are you gonna do, man? When duty calls.
Yeah, really.
No pun intended, obviously, but
I think you need to talk about the reason why you're called the Bucking Bronco, actually, too.
Well, why don't we give you an opportunity to share another one of your crazy stories, Josh? I mean, we could talk about. Let's talk about the Melissa virus, Josh.
I guess we can. I mean, it's not really funny, other than the fact that, like, I guess you could say I kind of got away with it. The fact that I really didn't get much trouble when I was younger in school, and this actually has to do with another thing with Andy. one,
Why
that you got arrested with.
why is Andy always a part of, these crazy stories that happen? We need to have Andy around more often, I think.
Yeah, really. But, I was in school. I was young. I was bored. It's one of the things where, when you get your work done early and, there's nothing else to do. So I was fucking around, checking my emails and whatnot. And I, being an asshole that I am, I wanted to try something. So I had a copy of the Melissa virus, and I pretty much let it loose on the Bucks County Technical School's computer systems. And it didn't even really affect them that much in the fact they had already had Verizon there. They paid for Verizon to be there on premises if anything happened, but they still felt the need to get me for something. So I was sitting in class, it was the next day or a couple days after, and all of a sudden I got these men in suits asking my teacher for me. And I'm like, oh shit, what the hell's going on now? Men in suits coming for me. So I get up, I go in there, and that's sure enough, I'm sitting here talking to two detectives about, what was going on, why did I do what I did and all that. And I ended up going to court for it. And of all things, okay, I don't want to say won the case. I avoided jail time, which would have been 5 federal prison for unlawful use of a computer, and I avoided it with a public defender. And everybody knows public defenders ain't worth a damn. So pretty much while that was going on, I bet you can bet my asshole was puckered because I figured I was going to jail. And sure enough, though, I was able to break through out of it. But man, that was you live, you learn. What can I say?
Yep. That was an interesting time period for you, man. That whole 4-year stretch was just kind of crazy for you, man. But
oh yeah.
I mean, we could go way back. I mean, way back when I was about 13 years old, and I ended up adopting a name called the Bucking Bronco. My sister and my aunt had come to stay over at our house.
Your sister, a.k.a. Betty Crocker.
Betty Crocker, bitch, get it right.
There you go.
Say it. Say it.
Betty Crocker, bitch.
That's it. Well, my Aunt Terry came to stay the night down with us. Now, my Aunt Terry is actually very close in age to me and my sister. I think she's right in between me and my sister, or she's a month younger than my sister, something like that. It's something weird. But we're all really close in age. Well, I don't know what possessed me to do this night. It was just mindless child bullshit, I guess you could say. I was holding on to the footboard of my bed, and I was literally jumping up and down with my feet and basically kicking my legs up in the air and kept saying, "Woo, I'm the Bucking Bronco." I ended up kicking the ceiling once or twice.